Hello folks, Expert Taffy at your service again. Now, looking at this photo, this is what NASA claims is one of well over 150 photos taken on the moon by one astronaut. Photo after photo, consecutive photos that must have taken him at least a half an hour to do about 150 odd photos. Now, my method is first impressions. Just look at the photo. Is there anything outstanding? Something that tells you that things are not right? Well, there is plenty on this photo. Take a look at the top section. Quite a bland, sandy area. Plenty of craters, but amazingly, no rocks to show what caused those craters. On the bottom half of the photo, it's another stitched section in. I'm calling it the midsection. Loads of rocks, but amazingly not one crater. Now folks, just think, on the moon, to have scattered fragments of rock, there is only one way it can be done, and that is asteroid impacts. If an asteroid strikes the moon, it's going to explode and shatter into billions of pieces, and just think what happens to those billions of pieces. They are going to be scattered over miles around and quite evenly. They don't be selective as to where they are going to land. Now folks, if these rocks in this midsection were created by an asteroid impact, what is NASA trying to tell us here? Are they trying to tell us that there was a vertical force field that prevented these rocks going onto the background? Something doesn't add up, folks. Something is not right, as you will soon see. Okay folks, here's the next thing that caught my eye here. If you look within the red boundary, there does seem to be a pre-arranged section of stones. Stones pre-arranged, you can see them on the left. They're creating a sort of semicircular. There does seem to be a semicircular pattern or circular pattern of pre-arranged stones here. But what it gives me the impression here from looking at these pre-arranged stones is, if you look at the top of the photo, it's in focus, and the bottom of the photo, it is in focus. What this photo does seem to be, to me, is not a photo taken by an astronaut 6 foot high, but taken from the air. It looks to me like an aerial photo. That's something we will leave to professional photographers to discuss. Okay, we now go to this photo here. I marked A0002. Now you'll see two red arrows I've got here. The bottom red arrow, look at the line where another landscape has been joined. As I will keep pointing out here, these photos are made up of three separate landscapes. A foreground, a midsection with the rocks, and a background with no rocks. Now it's clearly visible here the dividing line between the foreground and the midsection, and you can see the foreground is completely out of focus, folks. Now the top arrow, that is showing the tapered lever I display in my previous video, Aliens on the Moon, and here it is coming up. There you are. Can any of you dispute that? Obviously a mechanical piece of equipment. Okay folks, my next photo that I have titled A0003. Now just take a look at the strange situation here. According to NASA, this is on the moon, But look how the rocks are in patches, gaps between them, areas with no or little rocks. They claim this is on the moon. Now, take a look at the next photo coming up. Okay folks, what I've done here, I've cropped a section of the previous photo. I've titled it A0003C for cropped. Now what we've got here is one patch of rocks. And if you study this carefully, on the left hand side of that patch of rocks, you can see you've got vertical stones, a vertical stone on top of a vertical stone. They are definitely pre-arranged. These are selected shaped stones with flat sides arranged vertically, and if you look at this, it's part of what could have been a well or something, a circular wall that's been demolished, but it's definitely not the result of scattered rocks from asteroid impacts. This is man-constructed, folks, or according to NASA, alien constructed on the moon. Up to you to decide. So there you are folks, that is the end of the manually constructed well wall. Now I wonder what NASA are going to say about that. Okay, here's the next photo I've titled 8004. Now, as you can see from the bottom yellow arrow, it displays the lever arm. Above that you can see an object which I think it must be a cast iron steering box of a car. The top arrow with the blue writing displays what must be a hexagonal filler plug for this gearbox. Now here it is, cropped and zoomed. That object that appears to be a steering box of a car, the top arrow shows a bracket, a fixing bracket, and the bottom arrow you can see distinctly a perfect hexagonal nut. Now that wouldn't be a bolt, that would most probably be a filler plug, folks. Okay folks, here's the next photo. This is a cropped version of another one of those NASA photos they claim was taken on the moon. A cropped photo I have titled A0005. Now what you can see for the top arrow is an object that seems to have teeth around and or at an angle, maybe 45 degrees. What this looks like is a 45-degree gear pinion wheel. Now the bottom arrow shows, in the shadow of some other rocks, it shows what appears to be three perfectly rectangular objects, and they are flat. Now what are they? Could they be three cards out of a pack of cards? Or could they be maybe $3 notes deliberately inserted by the whistleblowers? Okay folks, take a look at this object here. Under the title I have given it A0006. Now what does that look like to you? To me it looks like a penknife with a blade open and maybe a can opener open. Now this blade is the perfect shape of a blade, and if you study the photo carefully, it's got a long groove in the blade that is usually in every single penknife blade, a groove for you to stick your fingernail in to pull out the blade. That's what you've got here folks, a penknife on the moon.